Hi, I'm Jeff Poole with iCar. If wheel alignment, steering, and suspension angles have you going in different directions, we're here to help you out. In this video, we're going to take a look at camber, steering axis inclination, included angle, and scrub radius. Camber, very basically, is the vertical tilt of the tire wheel assembly as compared to true vertical. If that tire wheel assembly is laying in, it's negative camber. If that tire wheel assembly is laying out, it's positive camber. Camber is a tire wear angle. Ultimately, if you have camber angles on the vehicle, and I visualize it like this, if these were tires and wheels on each side, I visualize camber like this. Zero camber, camber in, camber out. If both cambers are like this, the vehicle probably won't have a pull because of camber. If it's like this, it'll probably push this way. If it's like this, it'll probably push this way. Ultimately, camber is controlled by the relationship of the lower pivot point and the upper pivot point, and the upper and lower pivot points form the steering axis. That steering axis, as viewed from the front of the vehicle, will tilt inwards or outwards. So let's make believe this is the upper pivot point and this is the lower pivot point. And this is the upper pivot point and this is the lower pivot point. I have my steering axes here. If they're even, and these steering axes drive camber because the hub, knuckle, wheel assembly are connected to that axis. So ultimately, if we have steering axis inclination angles that are even and good, then our camber angles should be even and good. I say should be. Ultimately, though, if a tower, strut tower on a strut type suspension, if it's leaning in or out, that's going to affect steering axis inclination and also affect camber. If the engine cradle shifted, my body is the engine cradle, then we end up with a situation like this where you can have even camber changes but in opposite directions on each side. So steering axis inclination is a very powerful diagnostic angle that tells us the relationship of the upper and lower pivot points as viewed from the front of the vehicle. If there's a problem with SAI, it means the structure is off or a control arm's bent. It's something inboard of the pivot points. Another important angle to understand is included angle. Included angle is what's included in the design of the parts to take and get us from the steering axis to the camber angle that we want. And so if we have an included angle issue, and this can be calculated by the wheel alignment machine, if we have an issue there, it's something between the pivot points, meaning a knuckle or strut or whatever is between the pivot points on that particular vehicle. The outcome of all this is something that's known as scrub radius. Scrub radius, very simply, is the projection of the steering axis as viewed from the front down to the road surface versus the center line of that tire. And what we want with the scrub radius is we want to have an equal scrub radius side to side. On many vehicles, that scrub radius will come together at the road surface where the steering axis is pretty close to the center line of that tire. If there's an offset and a difference of the scrub radius from side to side, it can actually cause a torquing effect on braking and acceleration. So that's kind of a side effect there that the owner or the driver of the vehicle may have a concern about in the handling of that vehicle. This is just a quick glimpse into those angles. Hopefully this helps you out. We have other just-in-time videos, and we also have some excellent iCar classes on steering and suspension that'll help you out. Thanks for tuning in.